Automatic Plant Watering System by Grace Boudreau. So the idea, I've had a garden in my front yard almost my entire life. My father's very into it. We've plants in most of the rooms in our house. But one big problem, at least for when I've had to have my own plants at school, is I just forget to water them. So I was thinking, what can be done about it? Something that waters it for you. Here are the components I used: a moisture sensor, a water pump, a transistor, a relay, diodes, an Arduino board, a 5-volt power supply, some 330 ohm resistors, as well as a bucket of water and some potted soil. Here's just some visuals on the components I used. In the center there is the moisture sensor. On the top left, just some water. Top right is the water pump I used, and the bottom right is just some potted soil. How it works. So initially, information is gathered from the soil sensor. The Arduino system analyzes that data, whether or not the reading is above or below a specific predetermined threshold for the amount of moisture in the soil. When below the threshold, a 5-volt signal is sent. This activates a transistor, which then activates the relay, switches it on. The water pump is then activated and starts drawing power from the 5-volt power supply. The water is then pumped until it reaches the top end of the threshold, and the Arduino analyzes that data and then cuts the signal. This is just a little bit about my process during this project. I started by learning to use each component individually so that I could use them effectively in the board. And then I started learning the code needed to use each component independently. So the relay and the moisture sensor were the two main for that. And then bringing the components together and the code together in the end to have a full functioning moisture sensor. The moisture sensor required some calibration, and that was done using code and through trial and error testing. So I started first using the palm of my hand and air, then a wet and dry paper towel, and then I finally got soil, and I could do it when it was wet and see what it was like when it was dry, and then I was able to set the parameters that way.